Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How's it going? Okay. I'm okay. It's been it's been busy. It's one of those since I woke up, my brain's been on hyperdrive. So, uh, busy, but decent. Otherwise, otherwise decent. I'll just hope that I can corral my brain into what we're doing today. Oh, yeah, understandable. I had one of those situations where I woke up to a text message that was involved. And so because I woke up with that as the first thing, um, it just that was that's where my brain has stayed. Just um, I probably should have put this stuff away. Let's go ahead and put this stuff away now. So, um, as long as we can use the mental energy for productivity, we will be okay. I don't know if we can or not. We'll find out how that works. Um, exactly. I'm trying to think of which. I need to make the natillas first, I think. And I was trying to decide. I want to double boil it, so I was trying to decide what size of a double boiler I wanted to use. Um, I'm only doing half of the recipe because. There you go. There you go. What if that will work? That might be my best bet, actually. Um, I'm only making half of the recipe because I don't know what I'm doing. And so, in order to not have a ton that doesn't go well, um, and it's only me and Ish and Skip, so there you go. The natillas is just a really odd recipe, and I can't figure out um, technique wise. It's got some weirdness, you know. Okay, good. That's not high enough to touch the bottom of that, so let's get that up to a boil. Um, and then what do we have here? We're gonna have the egg whites we'll put in there. The yolks we'll put in here. So let's split those. Let's get the cookies out of the way because we don't need cookies right now. Um, I have never made a custard that had um, the egg whites beaten and then reintegrated into the cooked custard. So I'm not entirely sure what it is that we're trying to create. And there are two different tactics that I was finding on how to do it. I have a little bit of I have a little bit of eggshell on my hand, and I don't want it to end up going in things. Um, okay, that yolk there. Um, one of them. integrated the stiffened egg whites um, during the cooking process. The other one integrated the stiffened egg whites after it came off of the heat. From what I understand, that's going to create two different things. And I don't know which is correct. And nobody I know has made this. So the upside is, if it's wrong, no one will know, including me. Um, unless we end up with a New Mexican chef in the room who can give me information, we'll have no idea if I did it correctly. I am excited overall about this meal, though. New Mexican cuisine is one of my all-time favorite cuisines. It's interesting because I moved away from New Mexico when I was, I think, 10. And I didn't realize that New Mexico had its own cuisine for most of my life until I was in my 30s, actually. And I went to this restaurant called Blue Mesa. And the first bite I took of the food at Blue Mesa, I was like, oh shit, this reminds me of home. Um, and it brought back all these flavors I didn't even realize I had missed. Um, so it brought me back to the fact that that was in me, but I had forgotten. Okay. So we're going to need 2 cups of milk. We're going to need 3 tablespoons of flour, half a cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, half a cup. Hello, hello. How are you? I'm doing okay. I was saying earlier, my brain's a little bit on overdrive today, but other than that, fairly decent all in all. I also have not made a custard with milk. Or not milk, I'm sorry, flour with flour in it. Um, and that part honestly is probably the part that makes me the most nervous because I don't want it to end up weirdly gritty. Bella, have you done a custard with flour in it before? Okay. That one had flour in it? Interesting. No flour? That's what I'm curious about is how the integration of flour is gonna. Sorry. Yeah, this custard recipe has flour added to it, and that's I've never done that. I've never put flour in a custard. Um, so that's an odd idea to me. I've made mini custards, some that worked out and some that did not. We've had fairly decent luck with our custards in the last year or so. Let's do a pinch of salt. And so I've got 2 egg yolks, half a cup of sugar, a pinch of flour. No, I'm sorry, a pinch of salt, um, a teaspoon of vanilla, and we're going to put 3 tablespoons of flour in here, and then we're going to whisk it. But every one of the Natillas recipes that I looked at had flour in it. Um, so I was like, okay. If you guys say so. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm just worried that it's gonna be gritty. Did I show you my new cooking thermometer? I got a new one because my old one was being an ass. I actually got it while I was on um, vacation. Awesome. All right, I'll show it to you. Hold on one sec. I'm trying to pretend that this is gonna actually whisk. There's no real whisking happening here because it's just 2 egg yolks and it's just kind of creating a paste. It's mixed, but it's not. It's fine. It's fine. We're just gonna leave that there for a minute. Um, yeah, this is a much more. I think it's a more decent one. It's this little guy. I don't know how to change any of the settings or anything. Like I don't know if you can switch it over to Celsius and whatnot. Um, I don't even think I capped the directions. 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Hey Google, what is the boiling point of milk? All right, so we're gonna. Are you? Hello, Tommy. How are you? Today is not Tex-Mex though. Today is a New Mexican. Hey, Jess Rhodes. So the way this is written is that we're supposed to bring our milk to a boil, whisk our egg yolks, sugar, flour, salt, and vanilla. Um, Temper the eggs with the cooked milk, and then I'm supposed to beat the egg whites. And after the custard comes off of the heat, then we're supposed to slowly integrate the egg whites into the custard. Um, and then we have to chill it for at least 2 hours. So, today is the day, yes. So I had a whole confusing thing. I could have sworn that I got the 4 pounds of lard before. Um, I know I ordered it and I know I paid for it, and I thought, but I've not been very present this week. It's been hard to focus, and so I went to look for it today, and it was nowhere. Like there's no 4 pounds of lard in the house, so I had to put in another super fast order before stream, and they no longer had the like 4 pound block of lard, so I just ended up with 4 little 1 pound packages of lard, um, which is insane, honestly. That's so much lard. I did. You want me to find a harder one? um, those are the ones I just ordered. Um, so those are the new ones. But I was looking up the smoke point of lard, and it's actually very low. The smoke point for lard is like 374 degrees. Um, is there? Hold on one second. Debbie, reply to that last message for me, please. Since Jiggly's not here yet, are you referring specifically to the interview or the day as a whole? East. Yeah, East. I'll address the question as soon as Debbie's able to reply to it for me, because I need it repeated. Oh, okay. Yep, yep. I will address that in just a second. It was interesting. Okay. So, thank you. I appreciate that. The difference between New Mexican and Tex-Mex is drastic. They have completely different flavor profiles. One of the main differences is that New Mexican food pretty much always has hatch chilies. So sorry, Dubby. We're making tewa tacos, right? Tewa tacos. There's a Native American tribe called the Tewa. Uh, this is. This is going to be New Mexican. Hatch chilies are integrated into every single thing except for the dessert that we're doing today. That's step number one. We've got blue corn chips. Blue corn is a big staple in New Mexico. Um, they do integrate corn into everything. So we will have the margaritas have jalapeno actually, not so it's a little yeah, I don't have it in the sorry, I don't. Um um so well technically I'm just adding jalapeno lime balsamic. Um but I've had habanero margaritas, I've had jalapeno margaritas. Um some yeah, some is. Okay, we're getting pretty close to boiling point. Um, hmm. Are they good? All right, keep going. Um, that is simmering. I think actually we may want to stop it cooking there. I don't think we want that hotter than that. It is warm. Yeah, it is very warm. I need to make sure this doesn't break. Um, and it's threatening to the milk. Okay, let me double check it. Now, I don't actually want to take this that close to the boiling point because I don't want my milk to split. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna stop it there, and then real quick, let me integrate some hot milk into the egg yolks. Um, so yeah, there are several distinct aspects of New Mexican cuisine that we're trying to bring forward in today's food. Basically, is what all of that was about. Um, yesterday, Tommy, it was an interesting interview. I think it went decently for what it was. I don't know um, that it's something I'm gonna get, but I will give the guy that he didn't shut things down immediately. He was willing to consider. We had some decent discussion about it all. Um, and we'll see what they decide. He's got a team he'll have to discuss it with. Um, and the thing is, even if I did manage to be fairly convincing to him, I don't know that that will translate to the rest of the team, you know? All right, I'm going to try to integrate these two things together now and hope it works out. Yeah, yeah, I mean, it just may not be the right fit largely, and this is the thing. If they decide to go in a different direction, I wouldn't blame them. Okay? Because that particular position is a multi-hat position. And there are aspects of the job that I would be very, very good at. There are other aspects of the job that I would not be able to perform. So they may decide that it's in their best interest as a group. Um, it might, Debbie. I've never tried to dehydrate a pineapple. Um, it might be one of those things where I just am not able to do as much of the duties as they necessarily need. Um, because some of it is stuff like sports coach and cheerleading coach and that kind of thing, you know? Um, so we'll see. The one the one I feel the most confident about and my ability to perform the tasks necessary and the like um, is the interview I have next Tuesday. I hmm, I can't walk away from you. You are too warm. But I really need to rinse my hands. Okay, we're gonna try to go fast. Yes, I am. Bella, go get you a watermelon to dehydrate. Why are you dehydrating a pineapple, Bunny? 172.4 degrees Fahrenheit. How's it going, Wolf? Trying to make sure this does not heat too quickly. Very nice. How are you feeling, Wolf? um, making custard. Oh, is there another one of those? Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Did you lose your sense of taste, Wolf? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Sorry, guys. I am splitting my. You guys. I did. I ordered the one that you suggested actually before vacation. So far, it seems to be good. Oh, really? What causes you anxiety about it? Too many notifications? It can be overwhelming. Did I miss Jiggly? Oh, fuck it up. Oh. I'm making a mess. Oh, he gives you Discording. I have not used it a lot yet. Understandable. Yeah, that makes sense, Dr. Optimal. Do you? Yeah. Mm, that's not true. That's not true. I'm sorry. I rushed you. I rushed you and you weren't ready. You weren't ready. I know. I apologize. Do you? Yeah. Okay, now we're starting to go down in temp. I'm thinking this is thick enough, which means I need. Do you? I mute channels. I mute all the channels, except for my own. And then I will leave on the at everyone things because you never know when that's something. Um, but in general, everything but my own is muted. Okay. Yeah, yeah. At what temperature do egg whites cook? I'm sorry, Wolf, I couldn't hear over the stupid thing. One sec. Okay, thank you. No, I was talking about the mixer. Sorry, Duffy. My brain is just too divided. Skip always talks about it as the amount of trains that are running on different tracks. Um, there are too many trains going in too many different directions. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was in the middle of having a conversation with Ish earlier today, and I just stopped right in the middle of a sentence, and I was like, "Hold on, I just got a message. I got to deal with my shopper," and like walked off and started doing something. She looked at Bailey and she was like, "I don't know how she does so many things all at the same time. I don't know." I was like, "Well, I didn't do it well because I only got through half of that sentence. I could do better." Let's see if that's stiff yet. Are you stiff? They're soft. I think we're at soft feet. feel too? Maybe a touch longer. Not. That feels more like. Yes, that's better. Okay. Oh fuck! I'm sorry, homie. I'm so sorry. Here you go. Don't be angry. Um, let's see what temp this custard is still at. Out of curiosity. I'm sorry, I heard you again. I just wasn't sure if you were on. Okay, it's still warm enough that it should cook these egg whites. So we're going to strain it through here. They didn't say anything about straining it, but I am anyways, because, like I said, it's got the flour in it, and I just am not willing to take any risks that it's going to be weirdly gritty. I'm wondering if I cooked it far enough. It's a little bit thin. You're kind of thin. Are you too thin? Aw, hi. Yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be surprised, Chickly. How's your shopping going? Beautiful. I hope it goes well. All right. So, I'm not agree to this, Tommy. All right, so I'm going to slowly start integrating these egg whites into this custard. The custard is still warm. Um, Theoretically, it's still warm enough to cook these egg whites. Um, we're just going to do bit by bit here. I I did not do that because they were ending at 8:30, and we did not finish up here until 8:25. So I didn't do that thing, but I did go meet with the blind services lady to get some equipment yesterday. And I got some neat toys. I was showing those off yesterday during stream. Some of them are very interesting. Um, Also, Tommy, I was showing everybody the different voices that JAWS offers, and Chef and I were talking about making it something that people could redeem so that they could decide to change the TTS voice if they wanted to. Uh, well, no, it was useful for the blind probably. Um, I won't use a lot of it. Um, but some of it I will definitely use. Some of it I really wanted. Some of it she just ordered because she thought you never know it might be useful to me. Um, some of those things I probably won't use. Um, like there was this wooden thing that you can use to pull your oven rack out with and push your oven rack back in with in case you're like too nervous about the heat inside your oven. And for people who have a lot of anxiety about that sort of thing, it makes sense. Um, it's just not the kind of thing I'm gonna use, you know. Um, she gave me some types of needle threaders that are made for people who are blind, and that's neat. But what we've already figured out works better for what I'm doing. Uh, yeah, it's all a matter of your technique. And my particular technique does not make some of the tools super useful. But some of the other ones, it does. um, yeah, it was super nice of her to order them for me to give me options. I think it was a super sweet thing, and I appreciate it. I just um, won't necessarily use them all. Kind of, yeah. It's a stick. It's a stick. I think we should use it as a weapon. Honestly, I think in the end, the appropriate use for that particular tool is as a weapon, rather than um, yeah. Is she? Yeah. Ish did say it was also a ruler, so it doubles. It doubles as a ruler. Um, Hello. Chef said his mom used to use something like that to whoop him with. So it's also a good whoop children with. Um, you know. So it'll have uses, just maybe not the one she was originally thinking we would use it for. You know. So we are gonna pretend that we knew what we were doing with this dessert. We don't. But that's okay because even if I get it wrong, you'll never know because you don't know what it's supposed to be either. Um, I am blind, yes. Um, so this might be right. Mm, it tastes good. I'm gonna put it in some little bowls. We're gonna put it in the fridge, and and then later we'll see if we like it. If we like it, we'll say it's a success. I did just find that, Dr. Optimal. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know how many of these little custard bowls we're going to end up using, but we'll just bring down several, and if there's too many, we'll put them back up again. Panic! Panic! There you go. I fixed it for you, Debbie. I fixed it for you, Debbie. It's fine, it's fine. It's totally fine. I do that sort of thing. I do. All right, so. Oh no! Well, that'll induce anxiety. I did get some fresh strawberries. Um, which you don't which you don't necessarily need for this recipe. The recipe doesn't call for it. However, can you really ever like go wrong with adding fresh strawberries to custard? I don't think so. That's how I roll. You can. You can. It's true. I will have extra. She's ready to. A little more. A little more. Okay. So the recipe says this really only needs to chill for 2 hours. All the spiral things. Willing to give it a shot. How's it going? Maybe, maybe not that chill. Looks like I'm gonna have. Should I do? It's not even a full. No, we'll do. We'll put it into one, and then we'll do a quality control test um, before dinner. I think that's the way to go. You know, quality control. Exactly, exactly. It's important. So we've got. Those are all filled about the same point. So this will be our mini quality control guy here. So sadly, I was not able to get my hands on any of the Mexican gray squash. um, but I got some yellow squash, some zucchini, and um, um, It's a type of squash. It's a type of squash. No. um, I don't know. I just know that Mexican gray squash is also known as calabacitas, and Albertsons said they had it, but we looked all over the store and we couldn't find any. Um, there will be tequila. That goes in there. So, we're doing a combination of yellow squash, zucchini, and acorn squash instead. That is the plan. Um, I need to go ahead and do these dishes now because I've already made a mess, and we're not going to start the day with a mess. So, um, the calabacitas are made with a combination of summer squash, hot green chilies, corn, onion, tomato, um, and some uh, heavy cream, and then topped with cheese. Because the weeds are. um, the I have a question for people who are real familiar with squash. The acorn squash takes longer to cook, right? Um, the Does an acorn squash take longer to cook than yellow squash or zucchini? I'm pretty sure it does. I just don't know how much longer. I can see that. Am I? Yeah, yeah. It was just one of the squash that because it said to use a combination of squash, and that was one of the ones we threw together. But I was thinking in general because it's a denser squash. Um, Acorn squash is a bit more dense, right? So like logically to me, it would take slightly longer for it to cook. Does that not follow? I don't think I'm crazy, Dubby. Just so many smartasses. I don't want my zucchini and yellow squash to overcook with how long it takes for acorn squash to cook. I'm going to cut them up and we're going to look at the flesh of the squash and we're going to see because I'm pretty sure there's more water and in the yellow squash and zucchini and that they have a softer flesh. And so I think they will cook faster. When you guys made calabacitas, did you take the skins off of your squash? Okay. What kind of squash did you guys use? You like fried zucchini? Yeah. You did the Mexican squash? Gotcha. So technically, calabacitas translates to little squash. That's what it means. Um, but there is a side dish called calabacitas that is a super 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 common New Mexican side. Um, and that is the thing that we're making. Nice. I really was hoping I could find it. I was a bit bummed. New Mex. So, neither. This is specifically a New Mexican meal. New Mexico has its own twist on things, its own cuisine style, um, and its own common dishes. So Tewa tacos. Tewa are a Native American group that is currently part of the Hopi people. Okay, so if you guys want to hear some Tewa history, um, it's kind of interesting. They've got some super fascinating uh, myths, legends, histories, however you want to think of that. Um, when the conquistadors were moving through South America and Mexico, the Tewa were a nomadic people in the Chihuahuan Desert. Okay, the Hopi were in New Mexico. They were, hello, Gravy. The Hopi were in New Mexico and they were on the Three Mesas. Um, if you ask one of the Hopi people or one of the Tewa people about their joint history, you will get two different stories. Okay. Um, the Chihuahuan Desert is a desert in Mexico. Um, so the if you ask the Hopi, they will tell you that as the conquistadors were moving through, the Tewa people were brave warriors, but they needed to escape because the pressure was too hard. And so they came to the Hopi and um, they asked them for sanctuary. And the Hopi people took them in and made them a part of the Hopi people. If you ask the Tewa people, they say that the Hopi people came to them because an aspect of Hopi culture is that they are extreme egalitarians. It is not. It is culturally inappropriate to be outstanding, right? Um, you do not want to be someone who is stronger than everybody else, better than anybody else, has more than anybody else. That is not. You want to be part of the people. Um, So they didn't really have much in the way of police force type people. That was not really their style. Um, the Tewa were warriors. Um, so the Tewa say that the Hopi came to them and asked them to come and help defend the Three Mesas. And so they went. According to the Tewa people, they had been promised land and women and all of these things. And then when they got there, they were only given the worst lands at the bottoms of the mesas. And they were treated very disrespectfully by the Hopi people. Of course, that is not what the Hopi people say. So the Tewa, because of their feelings of maltreatment, laid a curse upon the Hopi people. And the curse was that the Hopi would never be able to learn the Tewa language. Okay, thank you, Debbie. I was going to do it on a skillet, so it's going to be cooked on the stovetop. Um, the Tewa history is that the leaders of the Tewa people met with the leaders of the Hopi people. They dug a ditch in the center between them with their feet. Um, they had the Hopi leaders spit into this ditch, and the Tewa laid a curse that the Hopi would never learn their language. Now, the Hopi and the Tewa people live on the three mesas currently. The third mesa, I believe, is now. Hmm. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking, Debbie. Um, the the Tewa people are slightly separated. They have kind of kept themselves off to the side. However, the two tribes do intermarry. Now, both Hopi and Tewa are matrilocal, which means that when you marry someone, you go live with the woman's family. All right? So when a Tewa woman would marry a Hopi man, um, the Hopi man would come and live in the Tewa side with the wife's family, and vice versa. And even though they have been intermarrying for forever, theoretically, supposedly, the story goes that the Hopi still cannot speak the language of the Tewa. Um, One of the things that they have noted is that when a Hopi individual attempts to speak the Tewa language, they are criticized and ridiculed um, profusely to discourage them from ever attempting it. When you see someone in the news representing the Hopi people, that is usually a Tewa. Um, when you look into the police forces on tribal lands, those are usually the Tewa. They tend to be able to have more success interacting with American culture than the Hopi do because the Hopi's culture is so different that it makes it very difficult for them. Whereas the Tewa have a few similar core values that make it a bit easier for them to interact. Where'd you go? Oh, that's not good. What the hell? Ah, there you are. So yeah, Tewa Hopi, super fucking interesting. Um, well, that's humans. I always think, Tommy, it's funny because I look at the naivety that I expressed in earlier years of my life. Um, when I was younger and I started taking courses to learn about history and sociology and anthropology, um, one of the things that baffled me the most when it came to human history and our behavior in groups is the fact that you had, for instance, during the waves of civil rights movements between or for African Americans, for women, for these different people, um, for different stereotyped minoritized groups, you would think logically that those groups would be able to understand that they had a common goal and a common foe, and that they would be able to come together and work together um, for mutual success. But that is not what people have done. Um, it's not our actual history. It's not what we tend to do as humans. And I don't know if that is simply because we categorize. Yeah, we tend to see everything as us and them. Um, and it's usually because of a battle for resources. Um, you would have had in that time frame likely limited resources. The Tewa were coming onto Hopi ground. The Hopi already had the better lands, the better crops. Um, the Tewa felt that they were coming in and doing the Hopi a favor and that they deserved those things. Um, it's very human. It's all just very, very human. It is an unfortunate aspect of humanity, but not uncommon. All right, so those dishes are done. We have dessert made. Those will be topped with a little bit of cinnamon when they're served. I think we should prep squash and stuff now. I am also going to um, throw some onions and some lime juice and pickle them a little bit um, as a topping for our. I think in the end I had enough because I had a super full jar, so I let that be. Let's see, squash. And yesterday was so hectic. It was so hectic. Like I said, I woke up, had the interview, had enough time to clean up, had that other appointment, left here, got on the bus, had that other appointment. Um, does this have a sticker? And then got back home and basically had enough time to like get some food in me, bake some cookies, and start stream. Yeah, thank you. Um, so there was never really any time. I did find a sticker on this one. All right, those there. I need probably 2 bowls for the squash. I need water, is what I need. All right, let's see. Um, oh, good. Let's look at the calabacitas again real quick. You do you, and you. Okay, I will need a couple bowls and use these. Okay, cutting cam. Is it? Hmm. Okay, those are not on. Pretty sure this light is on. Oh, weird. It shouldn't be. Let's see. Main cam. Main cam. I don't think so. No. Craft cam. Is it still bad? Okay. It's. Let me see. Okay. Cutting cam. Cutting cam. Is it still dark if I switch it? Okay. Good to know. Craft cam. All right. Something's wrong with that particular one. I'll have to. Let me. What is the other one called? Chat cam? Okay. Chat cam? Chat cam. How about that one? Those are the ones that Chef fixed. So that one's good. You know what? For for whatever reason, does it? For whatever reason, um, which one do you guys want? Um, I asked Ish if everything was okay, but and she thought it was. True, true. Um, the dark one, not the dark one. All right. So I think that I'm actually gonna get a different bowl. I feel like I need a larger one. I'm just gonna use this and okay. We're gonna have to find a way to help Ish see some of the problems that we have with the color stuff because yeah. Interesting, interesting. Um, the we need some ways to show Ish some of the things that are going on with like the color differences and stuff because she can't see them um, from my computer. And I don't know if this is an issue of my monitor. Slice thin or in bite-sized cubes. Um, I did not. No, Chef, you didn't fix that one. You didn't fix that one. You asked, can you do without this one? And I said, yes, don't worry about that. This was the same thing that when you fixed the two, you left the one undone. You said, do you need this one tonight? And I said, no. And then when Ish came over, I had her look at them and she couldn't tell there was a problem. She said they all looked fine. Um, so this is not a me thing. I didn't break it. The people who helped me fix things just left that as it was. They left it broken. Don't blame me. Now, for the calabacitas, should we do bite-sized chunks or thin slices? What do we want? Bite-sized cubes? I think we'll go with bite-sized cubes. The things I put up with. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, basically. Oh, my back is so unhappy with life. Okay. Exactly. I know. I know. It's insanity. He's been amusing himself pushing my buttons today. Oh, God damn it. Here we go. Uh, they're covered. It'll only be like $15. Um, oh, the extra knives. No, I looked at the sale stuff, um, and in the end, I decided, no, I decided in the end, that it was still a lot for anything. So I was able, Dr. Optimal, to get my son, um, birthday presents though. So I got him some D&D books, and I was very, very glad to be able to do that because I was a little bit sad that I wasn't going to be able to do anything for him this year. Um, I got him Spelljammer's Adventures in Space and what was the other one? Bigby's something. Bigby's something. And they were 50% off. Yep, that one. Mhm. Yeah, I hope it brings him joy. I contacted his spouse and asked them what he was wanting. Um, and that was what they told me. So I I don't really know anything personally about all of that. But if it's what he wants, then I'm happy. I mean, we're supposed to. But I have not played since you guys saw us play last. Before things got real hectic, um, Heavy had contacted us because first Heavy was moving. And so he was kind of out of contact for an extended period. And then he got back and he sent a group message trying to schedule something for August. Um, but not everybody replied to that. And then, or maybe it was July, actually, that he was trying to. Might have been July that he was trying. I don't know. He tried. People didn't respond. It's a matter of trying to get the group organized again, I think, is really the issue. Um, but D&D is sort of, that's like the notorious thing, isn't it? Is that it's just ridiculously difficult to get everybody on schedule and plan the next session and whatnot. We had, we were on a bit of a roll, and then it got interfered with, and so then it just lost its momentum. Um, and I know Ish and Onyx have got stuff coming up this month. Um, yeah, Ish and Onyx have stuff going on this month that's going to make it very unlikely that we do it then. All we ever did in that game is prepare. Probably. It, I made friends with the animals and children of the area. Yeah, but you know what? Everybody remembers that, but in all honesty, Onyx was the one who stole more stuff than I did. I just got caught by Ish. I didn't get caught by the person who owned the store, though. Just by Ish. Yeah. Yes, she is. She is. Where is the ice cream scoop? Aha. There we go. All right. Scoop these out. Wow. Those bots really like me today. Um, Mods, did you guys take a look at the Discord situation? Um, yeah, but they started trying to friend people already, Chef. It's a bot. Can they be kicked out? Does it matter? I guess it may not matter. But you may want to actually ban them. Okay, thanks. Hello, Jiggly. Did you get home? Our squash fruit. Mm. Do they? I just wasn't sure what they counted as. Very nice. Were your pastries good? Is that the rule? We got the natilas done, Jiggly. So now we're working on the calabacitas and um, then I suppose the next thing will probably be, depending on what our time looks like, we will either go ahead and pickle some onions or put together our fry bread, because apparently we want to make sure the fry bread has an hour to sit. Ah. Yeah, how was it? Acorn squash is not one of my favorite squash to prep. It's a tasty squash, but prepping it is a pain in the ass. Ay, ay, ay. Mm. I tried to remove part of my thumb. I'm going to put a band-aid on that just to make sure it doesn't start bleeding. Gotcha. Yeah. I have never messed with guava um, at all, so I have no real concept of it. Not mine. No, not my flesh. It's fine. I made bone broth uh, this week, and I used chicken wings in it. So after it had cooked for the 48 hours, I removed those chicken wings and I put them to the side to give to Bailey as little treats when she comes over. So Ish and Bailey came by earlier today, and I got to give her one of her little chicken wings, and she was super excited about it. It was very cute. I haven't seen Bailey very much lately, so it was good to get to spoil her a little. I haven't seen any of our doggo friends in quite a while. That's the first time I've seen Bailey in probably at least 3 weeks. She had gone playing in the water today, so she was just full of sand and wet doggo. And her favorite thing to do when she comes over here is to lay in my bed. And we were like, not today! So she got chicken instead. We were abusing her and not letting her get on my bed. So, question about preferences for people who like dogs. Do you prefer smaller dogs or larger dogs? Yeah, you like both. Interesting, interesting. I have, I have liked a couple of little dogs. Like, if you were to get yourself a dog, Okay, I gotcha. If you were to pick a dog for yourself and take it home and it were to be your companion in a perfect world, would you? Um, do you have a preference on dog size? I tend to prefer when I think about having a dog personally, I prefer a larger dog. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. Okay. Um, Skip wants a dog, and Skip is a large male, and he specifically wants a smaller dog. He wants a little lap dog, and it's just interesting to me with his size, um, that is his preference uh, when he thinks about a dog that he would like to have. Whereas for me, I get told that I'm tiny all the time, but my preference is a larger dog. Um, yeah. Well, a lot of times they are related. Um, Not always. There are always going to be, you know, um, exceptions, but often a big dog personality and a small dog. Yeah. Okay. Okay. See, that to me is a training thing. It just depends on how well behaved it is. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I have met a couple of smaller dogs that I have still liked. Mm-hmm. But in general, my preference has always been for big dogs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I imagine the fact that the Akitas were the most influential dogs we had is probably a big part of my preference. Um, Interestingly, my lease forbids me from getting an Akita. It's true. It's true. Medium-sized dogs can be great. There are quite a few breeds that my lease actually says I'm not allowed to have. Mm-hmm. Mm, mm-hmm. I had bad experiences with chows. So chows are one of the breeds that I don't care for as much, and that's purely based on the ones that I've been around. Um, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my brother got bit pretty bad by one, and it was one that knew us, but they're super territorial, or can be. So even if they know you, if the owner's not there to give you permission to be there. A peekapoo, huh? Yeah. Okay. I met one Chihuahua I liked once. She was old. She was like a 14-year-old Chihuahua named Baby. There are, yeah. All right. So close. Do you? I was just sitting here thinking somebody needs to be around to remind me why I don't buy acorn squash. Um, because I hate prepping it. I hate prepping it. Okay. I think we're finally done with all that. At least I hope we got all the pieces. Um, I definitely will need to put all that into. No! I found another piece. There's more. There's more. There you go. It's probably in my best interest. They're just a dumb shape for peeling. And they're very thick-skinned. All right. Let's see if we got it all now. Chop this into smaller bits. It is definitely more dense than the other squash. So we are going to cook it a bit longer than the other squash. I'm not entirely sure how much longer is the right amount of longer, but definitely longer. Maybe 5 to 10 minutes, something like that. It leaves this like sticky residue on you. Both acorn squash and butternut squash leave a film on you if you work with them for very long. And that film does not like to come off.